speaking of Giannis, he took that bag last week.
Big bag.
228 million reasons why. Obviously a big win for the city of Milwaukee, that franchise, a big win for small market teams everywhere, especially ones like Milwaukee that can it's a struggle to attract free agents at times. So what do you think about Giannis taking supermax? Do you think that it will lead to him getting a championship during his time there, or are we going to see a Kevin Garnett, possibly Damian Lillard situation where we see loyalty to a franchise almost come at a fault?
So to your first question, I love it because Giannis switching teams would have been a shift in power within the league, right? We've seen it over the past couple of years. Kevin Durant going to the Warriors completely changed the whole outlook of the league. LeBron going to Miami, although he did have some tough battles with Boston in the East, and he actually lost to Dallas and San Antonio. That also shifted the power in the league. And I think with this year, there's so much excitement. Even starting last year with all the dynamic duos all over the place, right? You had Russ and Harden, you had AD and LeBron, Paul George and Kawhi. So I think this just helps put balance, and in the playoffs we can look forward to like a Bucks versus Nets, KD versus Giannis, right? Like if he left, it would have been let's say, for example, one of the rumors was that he was going to Miami. It would have been Jimmy Butler, Giannis, and Bam against like KD and Kyrie. Like, that would have been crazy, but it would have been like, okay, those are the two teams, period. But you still got Philly in the mix. They got some shooting on that team. Boston is in the mix. They have a couple wings, and they added Tristan Thompson. So it just helps the league overall with the balance of power. Moving on to your second question. It's tough for me because I feel like until Giannis gets a dominant 1-2 dribble pull up from mid range, it's going to be so hard for him in the playoffs, because we've seen it time and time again when teams shrink the floor and force him to shoot from the outside. He's uncomfortable, and they're going to continue to put him in those situations. It's all good. He can get 25 and 15 over the course of 47 minutes, but in that 48th minute, when you need a bucket, who's going to get it? And I guess that's what they got Drew for.
Yeah, look, I hope that it ends up turning out well for them. I know they didn't get exactly who they wanted. Giannis had a wish list. You end up with Drew Holiday, which is still an upgrade over Eric Bledsoe. They sorely needed that. I would have felt a lot better about them coming into this season if Bogdanovich, if they were able to get him in that sign and trade from the Kings. That fell through. I think when we look back at this Milwaukee franchise, if they don't reach the levels that they were supposed to achieve or that we thought they were going to achieve, we will look back at the Bogdanovich failed sign and trade and giving up Malcolm Brogdon.
It's going to end up being one of the biggest what ifs, probably of these like couple of years.
Yeah, I think those situations really matter. But I'm of the thinking that I don't think Giannis needs to have a steady jump shot in order to win championships. I mean, we've seen, because like to me, he's just like a perimeter Shaq. Most of his stuff is still coming at the rim. His attack point is just coming from a different angle, and he's better than Shaq from the line. But you have to have the right teammates. And I don't know if Drew Holiday is that superstar enough to be like, but he needs that Kobe. So hopefully Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton can like sort of combo to be like the offensive threats from the outside. And if that's the case, then they don't even need him to shoot. But we'll see how things go.